Let's have a seat. All right. All right, how you doing, guys? My name's Tony Kaiser. This channel is called the Veteran Project, and the idea behind the Veteran Project is to give a voice to the average everyday veteran and your first responders, whether you be a police officer, firefighter, or a paramedic. So, like I said, the whole idea behind this channel is to give a voice to the average everyday veteran and first responder. And today I got a very special guest with me. He does a lot of work for the community and for veterans. So with that, I will introduce.
I'm Sgt Jurich. I'm the president and founder of Zeroduck30 Veterans Waterfowl Hunting Group and our summer program, Bikes and Battle Buddies. Basically, back in 2004, we saw a necessity to keep veterans together and work outside the military, keeping them involved in the outdoors and keeping them together as a unit. So we started duck hunting as a group, just 4 or 5 of us, and it turned into other veteran units coming in and joining us, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, and so we ended up, that's when we started the actual group Zeroduck30, and we started taking all veterans and first responders out waterfowl hunting with us, to give them that sense of still being in and still having a group to belong to. Since waterfowling is so big, that community, it acts just like a military community. We all share and take care of each other, and if somebody needs something, we're always there for them. We had a disconnect for a while in the summer because after hunting season there's nothing to do, so we started Bikes and Battle Buddies as a way to get out in the open road. Sometimes there's an open seat for people that don't ride, and people don't mind taking somebody that's a vet with them to ride with them. We planned out rides to Port Huron, Port Sanilac in Lexington, Lima, Ohio, Docks Beach House in Ohio, things like that, just to get out and go as a group, have fun, be able to fellowship with each other at dinner or lunch, whatever it may be, and then also support the community charity rides that go on in our local community here downriver, and further out, even reaching further out, just to let people know that we're here, what we do, and what our mission is. Zeroduck30 is battling PTSD one bird at a time, and Bikes and Battle Buddies is battling PTSD 1 mile at a time. So if you're ever in need of just someone to talk to, we have a lot of people that come out and hunt with us that don't even hunt. They usually just bring a camera and want to talk and get to know you, and then with the motorcycles, that just comes naturally. You got a bike and everyone wants to talk to you because everyone's bike is different and cool. So
yeah, that's, as a matter of fact, that's how we met.
Yep.
I was going to AM Leather. He was there, and I was looking for a cell phone holder, and we got to talking, and that's how it started from there. And so
yeah, it's a pretty fluid. It's a pretty fluid thing. It just, yes, when you're a veteran and there's a motorcycle involved,
it just starts going.
You just connect. Yeah.
All right. I know you're a veteran. You served in the U.S. Army?
Yep.
Okay. What was the motivation for you to join the military?
Back before I even knew anything about the military, my dad never really talked about it at all. And so in high school, I kind of thought about it. I was like, my little brother kind of went in and he did some clerical stuff, and my sister worked for the FBI, so I was like, maybe this is for me. I don't know. Right. My dad wasn't really too keen on me going in because he went in at a time. He went in a time when military was looked down on for what they did overseas, and I said, you know what, this got to be different. So my wife was already in, and I said, you know what, forget it. They're gonna give you 20 grand. You might as well go. Right. So I went in. I went in to take my test. I asked him. I said, hey, what's the lowest score you can get just to be a truck driver so I could just drive a semi? So I did that. I did all the testing. I went into the 1462nd in Howell, Michigan. And I tell you what, if you ever want a community, see a community to support military, I'm talking 100%. They will back you no matter what. They're a great community out there. So
that's awesome. When was the time? When did you enter the military?
So
what time?
I went to Fort Leonard Wood well, I got in 2004, but I had to wait, and I went to Fort Leonard Wood in 2005.
All right.
I'm a 25th birthday.
20. I was 20.
That was my birthday present to myself, was going back to basic.
I was 20 years old when I first went into basic. How long did you serve? How long was your tour?
That was a total of 8 years. 8 years.
8 years
for that. Yeah, and then I just did that tour, and I was like, yeah, I'm done. It was bittersweet, you know.
Yeah.
I miss the people.
Yes.
All the groups and everything we did in there, and I mean, we have like my squad leader. We called her boss, and she was our boss, and she treated us, you know, fair. Everybody was treated the same, and it was cool. And then our platoon leaders and things like that. And we still talk to each other now, even while out. And it was just, you know, they started pushing all the online courses and things like that, and they were tying our hands, not letting us train our people on the trucks and teaching them to drive, because a lot of them had never ever driven anything bigger than a Yugo. So we wanted to make
never
sure
had the experience behind the wheel of a truck.
Yeah, so we wanted to train them on it, and you know, it just turned into a big online course thing, and I was like, this isn't what we're here for. We're truck drivers. We got to do this job. We have to supply everything from ammo to McDonald's when we go overseas. So it doesn't matter what it is.
What was that MOS called?
88 Mike.
88 Mike. And that was, where did you do your basic and AIT at?
I stayed at Fort Leonard Wood the whole time.
Oh, so Fort Leonard Wood? Oh, you lucky.
It was, I tell you what, it was great. Everyone thought it was weird because I went in January and it was cold. So I had just my regular uniform on. They're like, where's your coat, soldier? I'm like, is it cold?
Right, because it's from Michigan.
Yeah, they're like, oh, after a while, they're like, oh, you're the Michigan guy.
Right, that same thing with me. When I was at Fort, I went to basic at Fort Knox, and I was used to the cold weather, and a lot of guys were from the west and from the southwest, and they weren't used to the cold weather.
Yeah.
And I made some money pulling guard duty during basic, because these guys didn't want to stand out there and just stand there and watch jackets in formation. You know, that was pretty cool. What was the reason you chose that MOS?
So the biggest reason was because I didn't get to see Margaret a lot when she was in, and she was doing drill. They were doing longer weekends than what they normally do. And I said, you know, we just got married, we got a house, we have a kid. I was like, I kind of like to see my wife once in a while.
Right.
Even though nobody in our unit knew we were married for over 2 years, except the commanders and our close friends. But it was knowing where she was, and we were there together. We were doing something together to make a change and you know, support our country. So that's why I went into that unit, was because she was there, and I just, you know, I followed her. You know, I wanted to do something for us together.
Looking back at your time in the service, what was your best day or your best experience in the military?
Actually, it was when I didn't even get to go to my unit right away. I was in my unit first, and I was actually drilling with them, and then got sent to basic and AIT, and I came home, and the day I came home, I got a call and said, hey, by the way, you're on the shooting team. We need you to come to Fort Custer. I'm like, okay, because we were already shooting before this. So myself, my then Staff Sergeant Rusin, who's actually the vice president of Zeroduck30, and Staff Sergeant Wolf, we were all on a team together, and we took first place and first place team on the shooting competitions against the MPs, who actually shoot all the time.
Right.
So when you're in our unit,
that doesn't mean anything.
You barely shoot. So, but it was good. That was probably one of the best times I've had, when we, you know, first come home, and we're like, we're just taking trophies home already. And then probably, I guess the other one would have to be when we were overseas, and we actually had a couple hours of downtime where we could just be ourselves, and you know, you can't have a campfire, so we took all the whoopee lights off the truck and piled them up in a pile. We made a little
makeshift campfire,
and we all just swapped stories and talked, and you know, reflected on what we've done overseas already. And I can't remember the number of missions we did, but I'm pretty proud of the whole unit. It was a lot of missions back and forth, running equipment and trucks and trailers, choppers, you name it. We drove everything from line haul trucks, which are just flatbeds, to hets and towing tanks, and so all 4 platoons worked together to get those missions completed, and it was just great seeing a family come together like that. And, you know, everybody has their squabbles.
It's teamwork, man.
But yeah, it all buried down to, like, you know, we're going to do this, and we're going to do it right, and you know, everybody came home.
Roger that. Any regrets for when your time? Any regrets for being in the military?
Yeah, probably. Honestly, probably just not sticking it out for retirement.
Yeah, staying in long enough.
Yeah, but it just for the time that you're able to enjoy home and family,
Right.
between on top of working and being in the military. Yeah, I probably regret not being able to go through and retire, but
Stay in longer.
yeah, but family. Be honest with you, family time at home, it kind of meant more.
Anything else you want to add to the to this?
No, I mean, I just, I wanted everybody to know that we're here for them. If you have a problem, you can get on our page anytime at Zeroduck30 or Bikes and Battle Buddies. You can join us for a ride, and you have somebody to talk to. We're not clinical people that are trained in these, but if you want to talk to somebody that talks just like you and understands where you came from and what you've been through, there's always somebody in this group, whether you just say, hey, just put a text out and says, hey, anybody want to go for a ride? I need to clear my head. Somebody's probably available to go on a ride with you, just to talk with you, and or just ride with you and not say a word. So that's really the basis behind that summer program, and it's worked out really well. It's grown. I want to say we've only been doing the summer program for like 4 months, and we're already over 700 members.
Wow.
So
when I met you, you were, I don't even think you were even over 100.
No, yeah, and
that was less than what, a year?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that grew. Is there a number or a website that we can get a hold of you? The links will be in the description if you want to get a hold of Bikes and Battle Buddies or Zeroduck30.
Yeah, you can go right on Facebook to Zeroduck30 Veterans Waterfowl Hunting Group, and the other page is Bikes and Battle Buddies. And then our next upcoming event, as long as everything goes through, you'll see Bikes and Battle Buddies in the Veterans Day Parade in Detroit, Michigan.
And when is that?
November 7th.
This year?
Yep.
November 7th? All right, roger that. Mark that date on the calendar.
Yep.
All right. That's it. That's all I got. I hope this channel takes off. Or, well, of course, everybody hopes it takes off, but I would like to see more people. I like to see more veterans behind the lens or in front of the lens. And I want to thank Tony for taking his time out of a Saturday morning. And he's got a lot of stuff to get going because he's got another event that he's got to go to like right now. So, Tony, thank you very much.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
You all have a great day, man.
Thanks.